What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. We're doing a regionals question and answer. We've got three beautiful people here with us. Hello, everybody. We got Russell, Alex, and Serena. We've seen them all before. Russell runs someone's PC. You've never heard it before. I don't know what you're doing with your life right now. Alex writes for Poke Beach. Really solid website. I used to wake up every morning when I was younger and watch Poke Beach websites and see what the updates were. I don't know how to read, so I haven't checked out the articles. And Serena, used to run EXP shares / sleeping now. I don't know what you're doing now, Serena.
EXP share is on hold, so primarily I sleep and go to work and don't play Pokemon. But I have been testing a lot for this regionals. Okay, it's good that I'm here. Don't worry, I have opinions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's a good thing to have when we're asking questions about regionals. That's a good thing. All right.
Yeah, so, I don't want to. Yeah, good.
I understand. All right, so let's just jump straight to the questions. The very first one from Max is, what are the good decks right now? And I know, Serena, you said you've been testing, so what are the good decks right now to you?
I'm really liking Garbodor. Obviously.
No, really. you don't.
A very strong opinion right there. I know a lot of people would disagree. What I found interesting recently is because, Garb, Sylveon, whatever, those decks have been so hyped up due to the Milan event, the Nick Bailey Open. So you get a lot of new decks that are good with the new sets, and then you have a lot of other decks that are kind of making a comeback, like Greninja and Gyarados. So those are good. Sylveon and Garb is good. Decidueye Vileplume is always going to be good, I guess. Not always, but, that kind of thing. What else? I mean, I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch because there's just so much, variation in this meta. Yeah. So I know Russell was talking about that earlier. You could talk to us about Vikavolt.
All right. Before we go too deep down the rabbit hole, Alex, what do you think are the good decks right now?
I think if you're building a deck that can't beat Garbodor or Sylveon, you probably shouldn't play it. Those would be the most played, most good decks. Volcanion, probably still going to be around, even with all the water hype. It still hits fast, hits hard. Inklings of, I know not a lot of people are, a lot of people have kind of put it by the wayside, but Rayquaza could still make a splash. You can expect at least 1 or 2 Rayquaza in top 32, maybe. And then just turn 1 item lock from Plume is going to be good. So whatever Plume variant's out there, if you can lock items turn 1, you're probably going to do something good. Maybe. Who knows?
That's true. All right, now, Russell, we know that you always have the interesting decks, so what do you think are the good decks right now?
In terms of popularity, I'd say Garbodor, and I think everyone's leaning towards the Dramper version. There's a little bit more people maybe playing Wobbuffet with Disruption, Delinquents, Bunnelbees, and so forth. I try to classify each Garbodor list as its own separate entity because they try to accomplish many different things in their own ways. So Garbodor is kind of the secondary attacker in Drampa, and then you have the Disruption one that plays Delinquent and Bunnelbee to Mill, and you're pretty much forcing items into the discard pile and going for a 2-hit KO for the first 4 turns until you reach the 1-hit KOs on certain attacks. And then you interact with Tapu Lele in the meantime. I think Ninetales is amazing. I think everyone disagrees with me for the most part, either because they play incorrectly or their lists are very insufficient. And I think I chalk that up to a lot of people not thinking outside the box with their deck
Are you talking the Ninetales Decidueye or Ninetales Waterbox?
Ninetales by itself. So I was hyping it for the longest time, and I even on Heyfonte posts or Verbank posts, I see people talk about Ninetales, and then I come in, I say it's amazing. One person agrees with me, and then 3 other players who I deem top 50 caliber say they don't like it, and it's just not good. And so whether it's their list, their testing, or they assume just by looking at the card instead of actually testing, that they're not getting either correct results or I'm an idiot and I'm testing against. I honestly pretty much just tested against myself for 12 hours. So I think that it's underrated compared to what it actually performs. And then Ben Sock kind of confirmed that for me when he won the Nick Bailey Open with a list. And I actually deemed his list to be decent. There's like 5 cards I wouldn't play. And I actually I talked to Ben about this like immediately after. Like I messaged him and I was like, "Yo, Ninetales OP, dog. Thanks for holding it down, you know." And he just like, "Yeah, I hated these 5 cards." And I was like, "Good, me too. I saw your list and I was like, what are you playing?" so I think that's very very good. I think Waterbox is good. Waterbox has in like Lapras, Rush variants, play Max Elixir and Max Potion. If you go against a Garbodor player that just picked up Garbodor, and you're just playing it to play it, then you can easily beat them by keeping like your discard pile of 4 items or lower. Plus Rough Seas, plus Lapras one-shotting every Garbodor you see. Makes for a fun time. I think people include Glaceon in most of their lists, so those will start to either dwindle down or not get played. I think the hype between Waterbox and Greninja, because we've seen a lot of Greninja pop up, and I believe Greninja is actually its rise in tiers and how it its revival is very true. I fully believe that it's actually really strong and it's definitely back in action once it got Veil Blower. And now that everyone's backing off of Vileplume, either because they're bored with it, they never liked it to begin with, or they're noticing that Tapu Lele kind of throws off the old game plan that this is why players strive for. I should honestly stop there. I can go on for like 30 more minutes because there's too many top decks.
There's so many decks.
I agree with you about Ninetales. I think, I agree with you in the sense that, like, I was playing against the deck I've tested most is Garbodor Drampa, and I really like it. And I played that against Ninetales, and I just kept getting crushed.
You don't win.
Yeah,
like,
and then
you just don't
it's just like, so, you know, I understand it's, like, really good. And then I've tested Ninetales against other stuff and been like, wow, this is garbage, so...
It's a deck that, like, when you said people are sleeping on it, that's true. It's better than the people who are writing it off. It's better than that, but it's not number 1. You know, it's better than anticipated, but yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple in top 32 for sure.
Same. I expect one to make top 8.
Yeah, top 8
form of it. Yeah, but I don't consider the Ninetales deck that I'm talking about the same as Ninetales Decidueye. I think Ninetales Decidueye is just Decidueye with
that?
Beacon. Like that's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that one's interesting. I haven't tested it yet, and I'm not going to, but.
I wouldn't either. I don't like it.
It's too clunky.
I mean, like 2 or 3 people have been coming to me being like, "That's like the better Ninetales variant." I'm like, I don't know what you mean by better Ninetales variant. That's like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
People are scared to play Manaphy. I don't get why. It's so fragile, but it wins you the game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Has free retreat. Broken.
We've been playing Shaman for 2 years now. Like, what's the difference?
It's fun.
It's a whole new world. Tapu Lele world.
That's been nice. I've liked that.
It's a good time to live right now.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is just for just good old Alex. For those who don't know, he's been really good this year, past 2 years with Sableye. From Dark Explorers and Expanded, and somebody said, "Hey Alex, you can't play Sableye. What are you gonna play in Standard?"
This year I've been to 2 regionals and I played Gardevoir in Anaheim and then Vespiquen in Utah, and I'm probably gonna play Vespiquen again. Actually, like no, I'm playing Vespiquen. Like for sure, playing Vespiquen. I think it's that if we just want to talk about separate decks and not why I'm playing it, but separate decks in terms of Vespiquen, I think it has like a lot of not necessarily overwhelmingly positive matchups, but you can fight your way out of any matchup. You don't have any necessarily hard auto losses, but you don't have any hard auto wins, so you can kind of chalk it up to, oh, I'm a better player than you, and I'll win that way. And also with the decline of Ray, the decline of Dark, and people taking Lugia out of Decidueye for whatever reason, no more need for Zip Striker, so that frees up just a whole bunch of room to play just amazing, like a whole bunch of cute text for everything. Everything from Wobbuffets so that Eevee can't evolve turn 1, like a higher count of those rather. Spinda for Gyarados. I mean, even like Vaporeons and stuff. Like you just have so much room in the deck now. I think it's a good play. I don't know. Who knows? I might be dead wrong on that. It's like because people hype up Gyarados. It's like virtually the same thing, but not as linear. So that's why I like it.
I understand. All right, Serena. So for those who don't know, Serena is near the Seattle area, kind of. And someone said, how many people are you expecting to be there? And I know you've been there for the past couple of regionals. So, Serena, how many people do you think will be there? And do you think there'll be a day 2 this year?
Pretty sure we're going to get a day 2. Last I checked, the registration... So, okay. It's online pre-registration, but you don't have to pay. So, I'm expecting for it to be, like, fewer people, or maybe around the same as... I'm expecting some people who registered to not show up. So, we were, like, 10 or 15 over the day 2, like... point. So I think there will be a day 2, but I could also see it being the smallest regionals this year. Pretty expensive to fly out here. Pretty expensive to fly out from here as well, I guess. So we usually don't get that many people. I think Portland's been the smallest so far, and I think it could be smaller than Portland. So I don't know, maybe like 250 people.
18 points, day 2, baby. Let's go.
I hope so.
Hey, thank you.
Such a change up.
Thank it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited though. I always love the regionals out here, but I don't expect it to be that big.
Okay. All right, and I know, Russell, you're flying out way out west. What do you think of people going there? How many people you expect to fly out there?
Not that many. Everyone keeps telling me it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's use chase points. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the weird part is that like this comes on the heels of the point structure change, and you know there's not very many regionals left, so one would anticipate it for it to be bigger, but the price point is surprisingly holding people back. I feel like because if people want to go to Worlds like so badly, they would invest in flying out here, but I'm not hearing any of that, which is kind of bananas because all the same people who are like, yeah, I can get my invite now because the point structure went up are the same people that are like, oh no, it's too expensive. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
They're banking on intercontinentals. That's what I think.
High season Madison. Yeah.
At this point too, it's just like so late in the season that I don't think anyone's gonna come out unless, or I don't think like people are gonna come out in the same droves that they come out at the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
So we talked about a lot of cards already, and some of these I've already talked about. Somebody asked, what are some cards you think are underrated now that the format has changed as much as it has? So let's go, Serena. What do you think are some underrated cards?
Well, I thought Drampa was underrated for a while. Maybe not anymore, but I still think there's like some people who just don't understand how powerful it really is. I think it's really, really good.
Fair enough.
What else is... I guess, like, Ninetales is probably underrated in some ways. I can't really think of anything else, to be honest.
So safe. Your answer's so
safe. Give me some ideas. No, I don't... I'm not like Russell. I don't, you know...
You don't explore the dark side, the depths of it.
Well, Russell touched on it earlier. Yeah. The Vikavolt GX, he touched on it earlier. Like
I brought that up, but
whoever brought it up.
Talking about it.
No, I
didn't even believe him. I was like, "What are you on?" And
no. Like we tested it. We tested it for a solid like day and a half. Vikavolt, like it's waiting for that like one card to make it. Busted.
Oh,
I think it's here already. Am I missing it? All right.
I ordered them. I ordered my Vikavolts.
That's like overrated.
If the Charger Bug was grass, I think I would be like 100% in on it. Like I think that's my issue. I can't get the speed down.
We can make a grass one. We can make it happen.
God, I want to. Like I tested it forever. I couldn't figure out the puzzle.
Do you guys think?
If you
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
To different topic. Go for it.
Oh yeah, my other one was Absol, but I think Absol is
great.
There's like 8 of them.
The one that rearranges the top cards of your opponent's
There's
deck,
like
and
8
then
of them. There's only one, Russell.
Stop trying to deck people out, dude. No, there's a roaring skies one.
it's so good though. It's bananas good because like if you get them into that situation where like you lock them, you just like doom news them. It's so like I think that card's underrated. That card's waiting for like one card to make it busted. When the format slows down, it might be busted. I don't know. I think Absol's underrated.
Put all
Do you
energy
think-
attached to this Pokemon into your hand at the end of your opponent's next turn. Oh, this guy's cute.
So you lock them with the top 4 rearrange, and then you knock them out, and then they bring something else up, and then you rearrange, and then you like Absol by itself can win games.
All right, the whole lock 'em with the top 4 rearrange. That's a very.
Yeah,
You said
okay.
That's
you
a
said it
lot
in a very
going on.
easy manner. It's
Right?
really hard to do.
Right, no. Like, it's not like walking down the street. Oh yeah, look, I'm gonna lock you. But you know, it's one of those things where you can like you end them down to a certain amount and then you rearrange, and if they just bricked hard off that, like you just win. You just won the game. Period.
What do you guys think about Machoke? Because I think some people like love it, and then some people are saying it's trash.
In what?
In in Gyarados. Or no, in what? Yeah.
And anything
in
really,
Gyarados.
right?
Just Gyarados, right?
That's what I've seen it in.
I'm
But
playing it.
I don't know. I haven't branched out that much.
I think it's
Sticking
good.
to my little deck.
I think it's good.
It's solid. It's good.
Very good card.
It's for winners. You know what I'm saying?
Stops like
Lapsuk's a winner.
stops Greninja and the Decidueye and like everything else. So
Well, it stops the Spindas from hitting.
ooh, not true. Yeah. See.
That's why you just Hex Maniac, Spinda.
Yeah, right. Like,
Well, you're done here, boy.
I don't think it's appropriate in Gyarados because you're gonna lose anyways. But I think in more fragile decks, I like it.
All right, Russell. So what are some underrated cards from you?
How much time we got?
All right. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna say my 2 cents. I'm gonna say Mandibuzz is underrated. If somebody can figure out how to make Mandibuzz work, I'd be so happy. So happy.
What
They're
is that?
wild.
What does that do?
Oh,
Time
no.
to.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh, you're talking about the one that snipes
Yeah.
from Fates Collide.
No, from the new set.
That's a new one.
There's a new Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
No, I think he's talking about
Hunchcrow. Sorry.
Oh,
Same dark bird thing. Oh my goodness.
You just play Hunchcrow Decidueye, dude.
There we go. See, Russell knows what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
All right, so Metagross GX is grossly underrated. Like, disgustingly underrated. Horribly underrated. He's so heavy. He carries the team on his back. I'm
250
pretty
HP.
sure, yeah. If I make a hard read that my opponents aren't playing Volcanion, then I'm gonna Metagross Seattle. But I'll see how I feel about it. I think Delmies is super underrated. I think Excadrill Delmies is actually underrated. I know some people did a little bit of a budget deck weekend or whatever the crap it was, and I was like, y'all talk about budget deck. This deck is
Get it right.
legit.
It was a fan
no.
Friday deck,
Oh.
Russell.
I don't like that deck.
You had a Fan Friday deck, and then there was another budget one, right?
Oh.
Lycanroc GX. I don't know if that's underrated because I know people are playing it, but it's really good. Just because the GX attack punches people in the face, it's like 50 times the number of revenge they have.
Mhm.
So, yeah, they get destroyed by that. Everyone knows Layla, Drampa, Hala, dude.
Holla.
Hala's so good with Grandpa.
In the right deck, Hala.
Holla
Holla's
seems
great.
really good.
Hala slept on. Poor guy. Like I remember when I got the card for whatever promo. I think it was like the regionals that just passed in Toronto, and they're like, "Oh, you get a Hala," and I was like, "Ew." And I started dusting. I was like, "Yo, Hala, this dude's good."
I like Hala with Drampa a lot. Just any other deck that you're going to be using your GX attack early on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid.
Both Vika Volts are slept on. So you guys already talked about that a little bit, but I think the other one is slept on too. The one that switches your deck for a grass energy and it's like lightning energy.
Yeah. Well, you play them in tandem.
Yeah. Wishy Washy. Yeah, I haven't figured anything out for that yet. I think it's so bad. Yeah. Brooklet Hill, dude. Decks that are like water and just need that little bit push of consistency. Brooklet Hill is insane. Such a good card. It's the one that you search your deck
Searches
for.
your deck for water or fighting.
Yeah.
It was really
and
good
puts
in
it-
Lycanroc when I was testing it.
So good. So good. That's about it. I think everything else is relatively good, as they say.
Okay. All right, so with the new, I mean, obviously these regionals has a new set. People are asking, do you expect more top 8 with new archetypes, with like Garbodor, Sylveon, etc., or old archetypes like Decidueye, Greninja, Gyarados, or Guardy to make more an appearance? So will the meta shift to a whole new meta, like new decks, or will the old still be the best? How about you, Russell? What do you think?
Oh, brand new meta. For sure. Majority. By far. I think there's a bunch of untapped potential that we haven't seen. And our European friends are showing a little bit of it regarding like the 3 Bundle B Garbodor deck. The Greninja list that play a Espeon X and a Hex Maniac. The Vikavolt deck. Gonzalo's just going nuts. He's building these really stupid decks that are super, super greedy. Like, I look at the evolution line, like his Vikavolt Ninetales list, and I was like, Gonzalo, I love you, dude. What is this? Like, he had 2 rare candies, 4/4 Vikavolt. I'm like, how? Who? Like, how do you do this? Like, I prize all 3 of those cards. I just lose.
Yeah.
So, I think there's a bunch of untapped potential that's out there, but I don't believe the best players in the game have the time to invest into discovering it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think some of the best players are like the ones who just hit up Roanoke, then they hit up Toronto, and now they're gonna go hit up Seattle and all that. I don't think they had time in between school, work, life, food, travel, to really grind out a new list to like break the meta.
It's been 2 weeks since Toronto. Yeah.
So, I think we're gonna see new things, and they're gonna take over. But if a old deck makes it into the top 8, it's because of them making a really solid meta call and maybe making like 1 or 2 changes to the list to add in Field Blower and whatever other card that came out of Guardians Rising. So I believe if it's an old deck making it into top 8, it's run by an experienced player who's probably top 100 in the world. So.
Okay. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, I would say I don't know if it would be an overwhelmingly amount of new decks, but definitely favoring the new decks. Something like 70% of the meta new decks. In terms of top 32, like if the top 32 comes down, I'd say I don't know what 70% of that, 20 some odd, 22 of them are new decks, and the other 10 are old decks. Old decks that are updated, stuff like, because we have a lot of hype on Greninja and Gyarados, and those are old decks just coming back. That's what, and I plan on making top 32, so there's going to be a Vespiquen there. So there's a lot of old decks that are already going to be in there. But it's going to be, and same with the Decidueye. Like the Decidueye is an old deck already. A lot of cool new stuff to come out. And I think in terms of untapped potential, I think most people are just waiting on a relative meta to find out. To kind of form before they can see what counters it. For instance, like when Grant Manley got second, you can't play that deck into a blind meta because you don't know what to counter, you don't know what to expect. You can guess, you can do your best to kind of try to counter everything, but if you kind of don't have that definitive structure, it can be hard. So I feel like Madison's going to be bananas crazy. Seattle will be relative crazy.
Plus Tapu Koko. I agree with that 200%. Because now we get Tapu Koko. And
and that's just going to make everything even more different.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what about you, Serena? Are you going to think there's going to be more new decks or old decks make an appearance?
I think it's going to be more new decks, but I think we'll have like more old decks coming back, considering the kind of results we saw in the past week or two. I think there's going to be like more new decks than before, but still primarily. Sorry, more old decks than before, but still primarily new decks. And people just like to play the new stuff because it's like hyped and whatever, too.
I think Russell made a good point too about like people not having to test. So like maybe a lot of the top 8 won't be like so many new decks, but once Madison hits, well, like people have tested more and stuff like that for sure.
I think people have like tested like the big new decks. I think that people have tested those a lot.
True.
I'm not. But I agree, though. I don't think that like we've gone deep enough into the new set and the new meta, so we could be seeing some really interesting things out of Madison, like you guys said.
And the next question was, do you think Mecha Scizor will make an appearance again? Speaking of old decks,
no.
I don't see it gaining anything from the new.
Metagross.
Mega Scizor. Huh?
We tested it. It was in my final 3 Scizor. It's not bad. You beat both Sylveon and Garbodor pretty handily. And that's good enough, right? Because if you play against 4 or 5 of those, you just need one more win and you're in. So it's I don't think it's a bad play. I don't know if one will make top 32. There'll be 2 people there playing it maybe, and they might hit the right matchups. But it's not a bad deck.
I feel like you don't have 50-50s with that deck though. That's what scares me. I feel like they're overwhelmingly. You're either gonna get completely dumpstered or you're like a 70-30, and that's because they trade better than you do.
No,
you're
for
hitting
sure.
120, and then there's
for sure. If you run into nothing but because Ninetales is weak to metal, right?
Yes.
If you run into nothing but Ninetales and Sylveon, you'll run those over. You can run through Garbodor because you have resistance, shield energies, and you don't need to play items. So if you play just nothing but and Decidueye is actually not that bad because you're 2-shotting everything in their deck, and if you play enough Pokemon Center Lady and that sort of thing, that matchup's fine. So it beats the top decks, and then if you run into anything kind of kooky, you're gonna get rocked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't like doing that. No. It's scary.
Either. I get rocks too much.
All right. So, somebody asked a really good question. Will supporter-based decks builds be more optimal now that Lele and Garb are in the format, or will the speedy, item-heavy builds that have been around for a while still reign supreme? And I was looking at Andrew's Wambolt's new article he just made, where he had no VS Seekers in his Garb deck or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I was like, whoa. But he played 3 Lysanders, 4 in, 4 Sycamore, and 3 Tapu Leles, and I was like, that's pretty interesting. So, Russell, do you think people are going to focus more on heavy items or more supporters now?
Heavy supporter. I think I completely agree with Wambolt in terms of lowering my item count. I personally still like at least 2 or 3 VS Seeker. Most of my lists are going down to 3, unless I feel like the deck can compete without it. But yeah, we definitely get a lot of help from Tapu Lele to just have nothing but supporter lists, and I think the format's going to slow down a lot because of it.
Sure.
And I don't believe that the item-heavy decks actually have a significant advantage over the supporter-heavy decks. No, not anymore. Not with Garbodor in play.
Right, they have a disadvantage now.
Yeah. Well, not. I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage. I just say they don't have an advantage anymore. Item heavy deck against a Garbodor deck can have those situational moments when it can survive. It can just be oh, I just didn't have to play any items this particular game. And depends on the Garbodor build. If it has the Bundle B Disruption one with the Linkwin and Hollas and all that. So I think those will be able to compete. But in general, I just think it leveled the playing field. I still think item-based decks are strong. That's why Gyarados still exists, because at the end of the day, it's about prize trade. So if I trade my 1 Gyarados for your 1 Garbodor, I really don't care as long as you had a bench of Tapu Lele at some point, and I just work around with Octillery. So we're going back to a part of the game where I never played in, which is 2012 or 2011 or something, when it was a whole bunch of cool stage 1s. You had the bulky stuff that were worth 2 prizes every now and then from that belt, whatever it's called, fighting belt.
Expert belt.
Expert belt. There you go.
That's before 2011.
Yeah, that's 09, 2010 format. Yeah.
I have no idea. I started Plasma Blast. Trying to improvise since there. So I think we're actually going to a really good balance. I absolutely love this format. I don't even know if I'm going to do well in the tournament, but I think it's a really healthy format.
It's been really fun. I love Tapu Lele. I love the ability that it brings to just play things like one-up supporters way more than before. I mean, not way more, but you just have a lot of different options, and it's been really cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, Serena, you think we're going to go more of a supporter-based format now, for sure?
Yeah, I think so. And I think we're starting... I mean, I think we'll start to see it more in the future, but especially once Garbodor just becomes really, really big. Once people finally get that, then people will start transitioning.
Just wait until Versus Seeker rotates out even. Because then no more Versus Seeker, no more Trainer's Mail, none of that stuff either. Like it, no more Shaman. So like it, yeah, God, I can't wait. Like next, like right after Worlds, like is gonna be the golden age of Pokemon. Right after Worlds.
I agree. I think we're gonna see a lot more Octillery and Oranguru.
Mm-hmm.
I also think we're gonna see Bridget like crazy on Seattle.
Oh, Bridget's amazing.
In Seattle?
I didn't want to say it was
Bridget's
underrated because
so
like
good.
everyone plays it, but it's so good. I played it in Portland because I was playing Wabix Selgor. It was so good. Yeah.
When does Bridget rotate out? Oh, it's in Breakthrough. Okay, so.
No, it's here forever.
Forever.
They want me to play Auxiliary Glade again, and I'm a coming. It's gonna be great.
I mean, I love fan clubs. I mean, Bridget just makes it that much better. So.
Yeah, I think a fan club is just like perfect. It should have been an extra card or an energy, but whatever. That's greedy. We should have got something from it.
That's a little too good.
A little hookup.
A little too good.
Do you guys think that we're gonna start seeing more stage 2 decks and that kind of thing with the format slowing down?
Yes.
Stage 2?
If people grow the guts, if they got it in them. I'm over here talking about Vigavolt, and people are messaging me like, "Stop being dumb. I tested it. Sucks."
No, after Worlds, stage 2 decks are like gonna be the thing, right? Like, because they have so much more HP too. Like, Metagross 250. Like, how can you overcome that? That's a lot of HP. You're turning into go for it.
Everything that one shots outside of Volcanion is rotating.
Yes.
Mega Rayquaza, Vespiquen, Gyarados, this, that, and the other. It's all in Ancient Origins or Roaring Skies. So once all that's gone, now we can play around. We start using Incinerator, we can go crazy.
Why
Use
not?
all these garbage GXs that we never thought were going to be good. We're gonna bring it back.
So good.
All right. So I know we kind of talked about this earlier, Decidueye, and I think Russell touched on this, how like people aren't playing anymore because they don't like it anymore. They have more decks to choose from. But will Decidueye still be big this weekend? I know like the past couple regionals, it's been like everywhere. Like Decidueye Vileplume just like flooded the field. But will we still see this weekend? What do you think, Serena?
Yeah, I think it'll still like show up, but it won't be as strong as it was before. Yeah. I mean, okay, so like the question is how much Greninja and Gyarados you're expecting. I think it will show up to like counter those. It's like it's like when you're going to the next level of the meta, when you're like, okay, everyone's gonna play this, and then to beat that, I'll go and play Decidueye Vileplume. So I think some people would choose that, but I'm not gonna, because I don't like that deck.
How about you, Alex? How you feeling?
Turn 1 item lock is going to be strong no matter who you are. Yeah, Tapu Lele comes in and kind of like diminishes that a little bit, but you can shut down a lot of things if they don't open a Lele in their hand or something, like it's just inherently good right now. Eventually, maybe not so much, but and you'll have those people that either didn't test and that's all they know. People might be getting off of it because they realize it's actually a much harder deck to play than anticipated. Like any random Joe can pick it up and like win because of turn 1 item lock, but to sustain that's harder and it's fragile and there's a lot of things to be said about the deck. But it'll be played. Just not in Groves.
Okay. And how about you, Russell?
It'll see play, but I wish it would die already.
For real.
Stupid deck.
I'm so glad. I like Standard now. I hated Standard before this, and I'm excited to play in a Standard tournament.
Yep.
Thanks, Pokemon.
All right, so we talked about item-based decks, and one of the big ones just a couple weeks ago was Volcanion. It like won at regionals. It became like where Volcanion people thought was really bad, and then it won like intercontinentals and regionals, and people were like, "Wow, Volcanion's really good." And now all of a sudden, Garbodor came out of nowhere, and now you can't really play item-based decks. So is Volcanion still good for this event or not? What do you think, Alex?
I think it's. I mean, it goes back to directly relating how much Greninja and Gyarados you think it is, and Ninetales. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 of them top 32. But I don't think it's a great play. It loses to a lot of stuff. It's consistent and it hits hard, and like if you go off turn 1, you can win games. But it's not a bad deck. I just don't think the meta is necessarily correct.
Okay. And how about you, Russell? What do you think about Volcanion?
I always thought it was a tier 1 deck, and then it started winning, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But now I hate it. I just don't like it. I don't know, like the look of it, the whole speed factor. It feels brainless to me, like it walks itself. But then again, I played Turbo Dark, so I have no room to talk.
Yeah, but it's dark type Pokemon, so they're cool looking.
That was the easiest region I've ever played in my entire life. I was just like, attach, max elixir. Oh, I whiffed it. Oh god. Oh, you didn't kill me? Alright, we're good. Like it was just
Smack.
So I think Volcanion's good. I do not believe it's the meta. I think Ninetales, Gyarados, Greninja, Vespiquen, stupid stage 1 decks where everyone's going to play Evolution Line and Vaporeon in it. You're just going to get dumpstered left and right.
The one Vaporeon and Sylveon, like yeah.
People heavily underrate the concept of Tapu Lele for Hex, and then hit with Tapu Lele. And you just look at them like, so what are we doing here, dog? I'll retreat, and you hit with the baby for like 20, right? And then you last into the Volcanion, and you're like, and you smack in the mouth, and then it's KO, and you're like, what now, boy? And then I don't think it's its time. It had its time. It had its regional.
Yeah.
And it's intercontinentals. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. How about you, Serena? You still down with Volcanion or no? Never.
I've never been down with Volcanion. Yeah, I agree. It's brainless or whatever. Not to hate on any Volcanion players, but no, I agree with everything you guys said. I think there was like a chunk of time where people were like, "Oh, this deck is good against Garbodor," but then you can just like, I don't know, outplay them, and then it's not good against Garbodor anymore, or make it list differently or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't tested like a super teched out against Garbodor Volcanion list yet, but like you guys were saying, there's just too many other decks that are gonna pop up. You're not gonna do well.
Okay. Now, of course, we all know that Garbodor was the biggest deck, like the most hyped deck going to the new set. The next card is probably Sylveon. I mean, some people might argue, but I think Sylveon was the next hyped up card. So will Sylveon actually be relevant in this big tournament like Seattle? I mean, you got ties coming in. You got to play for like, if you're down a game, you have to figure out when to scoop, and like it's actually a really hard deck to play best 2 out of 3 if you know you're gonna lose and like when to scoop. But what'll be relevant in a big tournament like Seattle? What do you think, Russell?
No, I think it's good. I think it's hard to pilot. Everyone talks about this whole Hex Maniac and you lose kind of thing. Like if you don't go first and they hex you, and then you just lose. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't know. I personally think the deck is, like I said, it's good. I would not bring it to a 2 out of 3 regional with so many rounds when I can just play another deck that I feel would be more optimal. I also think it's so hyped that everyone's prepared for it. And they're just like you were talking about playing Scizor. What kind of world are we living in where Scizor is a logical decision? Like this is crazy. So people are prepared, and I'd rather be more prepared for Garbodor. If I was playing Sylveon, I would just tell myself play Lapras Water Box. That way you can just beat your opponent instead of trying to deck them out. And I was never a fan of deck out decks anyway. So
it's It's hard. Yeah, I think you have to play the deck perfectly or close to perfectly, which is impossible. I think you have to be able to play it almost perfectly and very, very quickly at the same time. I could see a lot of people being like, oh, this sounds like a really cool idea. I can just do whatever I want to my opponent. And then, so they'll play it, and then they get there and they realize that there's these constraints on you that, you don't have in testing, unless you time your games, which you should, but it's just like not practical, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pipe dream.
All right, Alex, you're the closest person who's played like a Sylveon based deck. I mean, do you think it has a chance or no?
I do. It's a lot of the same sort of criticisms of Sylveon were also placed on Sableye Garbodor, the best 2 out of 3 thing, no time limit, decking someone out, win to scoop, all that stuff. It's the same sort of criticisms. And if you play the deck to the near perfect level, I feel like it has as much shot as anything else does. the problem, so like what Serena said, yes, if you play it near perfectly, like it's gonna destroy you. Not maybe people don't have enough time to kind of perfect the list, perfect the ways to play it. Maybe that's the thing holding it back. Maybe what Russell said's holding it back, where everyone's just prepared for it and ready to go because it's on everyone's radar. I see you not playing it as a deck out deck. Like I see it as more of the Lapras style deck where you slow them down and then swing. And in that regard, yeah, why not just play a water box? But at the same time, like it's nice to have that pivot of I can deck them out, or I can just start swinging for 110 over and over again. And if they have no cards in their hand, or if there's just no energy on field, like what can realistically stop that? I think it's gonna do. I mean, it's not gonna be an overwhelmingly success, but like it'll see day two. If for sure we'll see day two.
One or two will for sure see day two.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see it. One, winning the event. Two, I don't expect to play against it if I go 3-0.
Yeah, exactly.
If I go 3-0, I'll be like, all right, cool. We're good for the rest of the day here.
Exactly. It's one of those decks that a lot of people will play. A lot of baddies will play. A lot of inexperienced players will pick it up, not realizing how to lock someone, how to do whatever, not know that they need to like Field Blow or Lysander or Delinquent, whichever one. So I also think people don't have the build right yet. I don't think the quad Sylveon, like the 4-3 and that's it, is necessarily correct. Like I feel like you could probably play some other cute techs on the bench to stop things from happening to you. And a week and a half to test all that is not enough time. I think a Sylveon will top 8 in Madison, if that helps anybody. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of hard opinions on Sylveon, and everyone and their mother was like, "Oh, you must be playing Sylveon." I'm like, "No, that deck's awful. Like, stop it, please." like, why aren't you doing this, Alex?
I honestly don't like the concept of decking out with it. Like I said before, I'm just not a deck out person. I like the concept of swinging with it.
Exactly,
and it's not good enough.
You can do both.
It is. It's more than good enough. It can do it all.
You can do both. Like
no, you can't do both. That's
no. Because you can go for like this deck out strat because there's one of two ways they're gonna play against you. They're gonna either go crazy aggressive and try to overwhelm you, in which case you just pivot to decking them out, or they conservatively and then you're like, all right, cool, 110, 110, 110. You can pivot off of whatever they do, and still have the upper hand.
Yeah, but if
you lose a Scizor.
If you're attacking, then you're not preventing them from getting their strategy off, and their strategy might be like knocking you out in one shot, or almost. If you're playing against like something against Volcanion or something like that.
Well, true.
Even Garbodor. But
you
the Garbodor thing is different. But
right, you can put your turns ahead of them. So like the moment you want to go into that trade, you're still ahead of them, and like let them set up. I'm already going to be ahead in this whole race thing. Mm-hmm. Put yourself ahead. Yeah, so the first like 5 turns of the game, lock them out, and then start swinging. It's not going to be swing right away. I don't know. I think, like I said, it's got a lot of untapped potential. Something that it doesn't. It takes someone better than me to find out. Someone will find it out. Play a lot of cute techs and just roll people over with it, and everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, they're a god." So like, it's gonna happen. I feel it's just biding its time. And the thing is, we're gonna have this card. We're gonna have this card for another 2 years too. It might not happen in Madison. It might not happen at. I was like, this.
I think
there's
a lot of potential. It's cool.
It's a really good card.
Yeah, and the other thing, I'm like Russell. I don't like playing deck out decks really. I mean, I guess I played Wildcat Excel War, which isn't really a deck out deck, but kind of. It's just like such a grind, man.
You win by deck out with that deck?
Oh hell yeah!
I just kill everyone.
Yeah. No, because they just like run out. They run out of cards at a certain point because you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing 60 damage with poison per turn, 70 going into my turn, and you have like these guys that are like really buff and big, but they can't really do anything. So it just takes forever to take 6 prizes, and they just run out of cards before you take 6. But yeah.
Go. Sorry.
My point was just that like it's such a grind. It is such a grind to deck out every single person. Is like not something that I want to sign up for. I really, I want to have the option of ending my round before the 50 minutes is up. Just like at least one.
I mean, hey, I think it's possible no matter You can deck people twice.
You're talking to two guys that played Carbink and Sableye Garb during Expanded. We're totally fine with going to 50 minutes. That's in the game plan, baby. That's why I win game 1.
I've only tied twice with Sableye Garbo in the last 3 tournaments, I think. No, twice. Yeah, I've only tied twice in Swiss day 1 in the last 3 tournaments I've played Sableye Garbo. Right?
No, but we're talking about going to time.
I just don't want
actually going to 50 minutes, win game 1.
This is not. Yeah, no. I will finish both games. I don't go to time. Rounds can be a half hour. I don't care. I'll still.
And I mean, like that's the other thing. With Sableye, it's not that you have the decisions are easier per se, but you do have a much more more of a limited range of things you can choose right from your discard. With Sylveon, it can be like literally anything. I think people are gonna take like friggin' minutes looking through their deck. What do I want? And I'll just be like, please, I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna have to work on. Is
I say take your time. You're gonna lose game 1. Please feel free. Do whatever you want. It's okay, child.
Chill out.
It's
if
gonna
I
be
try to
okay.
end Sylveons, I'm gonna get upset.
And then you're gonna attach and pass, and then let them search for another 3 cards, and
I'll just be like, no, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say I'm gonna end anyway. Can you just not?
Oh, you say that? I let him go crazy.
Tilt, because that's so tilting if you're like holding on to that end and they're sitting there just like looking, and then you just like drop down right away, like, because then they're just like, come on. It's so tilting for them. Right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're the. Why didn't you tell me to?
Card. That's ultimate disrespect. You Skyla and they're like, all right, we're good. You're like, red card, nerd. Put it back.
They're like, all right, and then you just play whatever. You just don't plan. Nah, don't do that, kids.
Oh my god.
All right. So speaking of Sableye, I guess Alex, this question just for you. Do you think Sableye is gonna be good? The new Sableye?
Eventually.
What about this regionals? Would you play Sableye?
God, no.
Okay.
No. I feel like it's because we talked about it earlier about going to the supporter heavy format. Like when that happens and something else comes out in the next 2 years that makes it good, why not? Like right now it's awful, and the fact that it's got 60 instead of 70 is awful. But no, I don't see why it could be good eventually.
That's called balance, man. 16 instead of 70. That's R&D. They knew what they were doing.
I'm so upset that they knew what they were doing. I wish there had been that one guy in the meeting room just like, why don't we make it 70? And nobody else opposed him, and then it would have been fine. Yeah.
Alright.
That guy was not in that room, and I'm mad for it.
Or maybe Cal stopped him.
If the simple ID X was 60 HP, nobody would have known who Alex Cook was. That would be a no-name.
Alright, so we talked about Garbodor a lot, but there's like a billion different ways you can play it with like Tauros, Drampa, there's people playing like Trevenant, Evolutions, Espeon. What is your favorite way to play Garbodor right now? And Serena, I think we know Drampa's yours, but is there anything else to go along with that?
Tapu Lele. Yeah. The Magma Stadium. It's pretty standard. You just, I don't know, you hit for 180 turn 2. It's pretty cool. That's my favorite. I don't know. I like that the best. I think it's good against the Tauros version, which is why I like it. I feel like in general I've been testing pretty well against Sylveon and Volcanion. I haven't tested really against other stuff, but having that like being able to attack with Drampa first and just get set up with Drampa. Obviously, it's big wheel GX attack, but just in general, being able to apply pressure with Drampa first, then forcing them to sort of play items to get out of that kind of situation where you're like basically ahead. It works really well, and then just having sort of like that big attacker right at the beginning of the game, and then later on your Garbodor is going to be like good to go. You just finish up with that, and then Tapu Lele is also a great attacker, especially like depending on what you're playing against and stuff like that. But it can just hit for a lot. It's pretty sweet.
All right, Russell, how about you? Are you liking the Espeon build of Garbodor, or do you have some different way to play it?
I have no strong opinion one way or the other.
Oh man.
Oh, let the people down.
Literally the exact words I was gonna say.
Oh, come on.
I
You're
like
like
every-
grilling me
I
for
like
not
every-
having strong opinions.
I like everything really, really well across the board. I think Tauros is starting to take a pretty much back seat for me outside of like Ninetales matchup and a few others. But overall, I think Drampa, Espeon, and the Bunnelby versions are my favorite. Yeah, I think Field Blower made me enjoy this format so much. Just because without Field Blower, we wouldn't even be talking about Tapu Lele or Drampa as much because like no fighting fear belts are being played, right? And even if they do, you just Field Blower it away. Like the 40 HP is no longer relevant, and Drampa goes from but it's not enough to like break like fighting fairy belt into whoa, this is the beast, dude. 180 is ridiculous. It's gonna OHKO everything. So I really like Drampa. I really like his GX attack, just so my opponent's forced to end me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holla's live.
And Hala always live. Huh?
And Alex, you said you don't have a preference.
I have no opinion on Garbodor. I don't care. I'll beat them all the same.
What are you playing?
Best
Or you're
Queen.
not gonna tell us?
You already
Oh,
said
okay,
Best
okay,
Queen.
okay.
Yeah, come on,
Sure.
Sabrina.
My bad.
I will say this: I'm in a tournament right now, and I'm playing like just a basic like Garbodor Tauros deck, and you just get destroyed by Drampa. There's no way you can beat that deck. Like if you're Tauros Garbodor and you see a Drampa, you're just gonna lose. Like
Absolutely.
just gonna point that out to you
Yeah.
guys. If you haven't tested a matchup, like it's really bad. All right, so let's see. So we talked about Greninja a little bit. I know at Worlds people play Talonflame, and some people kind of play Talonflame. But would you play Talonflame and Greninja now, or do you think Talonflame is just like a bad card of the deck? Russell, about you?
No, Talonflame's for children. Children.
Oh.
Juniors.
All right.
No, but seriously, I don't like Talonflame.
Yeah.
I think the dive ball, repeat ball, ultra ball, splash is a much better way of approaching it.
Okay. That'd be Alex. Talonflame, yes or no?
No Talonflame. The splash repeat ball version is much better.
Alright.
More consistent.
I don't have any strong opinions because I haven't tested either that much. Oh my god, you guys just said the same thing about Garbodor, which is like the biggest stuff right now. So I don't have any strong opinions.
Yeah, that's fine.
I legitimately just have never really liked Greninja as a deck and just didn't want to test it or play it. So, but you know, it's not very good on me.
It ended up being a dead card for me. So, like the Talonflames, you don't hit them, and then you're like, oh, these 4 dead cards are my deck. This is great. I don't really play Ultra Balls anymore. So what are they doing in my deck? So
Right.
Risk versus reward, baby. Let's go.
all right. So Raul has this really long question, and it's really good, but it's really long. All right. So is the rise in Gyarados simply due to the hype surrounding new cards, Rescue Stretcher, Choice Band, Machoke, or due to people not playing counters to it? Last time we saw Gyarados become popular, we saw people taking Spin in their decks. Do we expect a similar trend moving into Seattle? I guess the first question is, what made Gyarados become so hyped up right now? And will you play Tex to beat Gyarados? Serena?
I think Gyarados is really hyped because it's got a good Garbodor matchup. Will I play Tex? I'm thinking about it because I am playing Garbodor. Yeah. I guess like the question is between like the Azelf promo and the Spinda. I haven't tested either.
Azelf promo.
There's an Azelf promo? Yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hit everything that already has damage on it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at this.
Oh, okay. So it's for a psychic injury. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, for a psychic energy, you put
Okay.
2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon that already has counters on it. I think there's ups and downs to both. What was I gonna say? Since I play the Garbotoxin Garbodor, I'm not really worried about Machoke. I guess what my plan is to just kind of see what the meta's like night before, the day of, see what people are going to be playing. If I don't expect that much, then I might not.
I think the Rising Gyarados was always a good deck. It's always been a really good deck. I think the problem with it was that Decidueye was everywhere. and that was the issue. And so now that Decidueye's taking like a back seat, people are like, hey, we can do Gyarados now. And I think that's kind of what it is. Like, it's always been really good, but Decidueye has always kept it in check.
Sure.
So that's what I got.
How
And
about you?
Machoke's a good card.
Is it Machoke's a good card, Alex?
And Machoke's a good card, just not in Gyarados, in other things.
Machoke puts false expectations into people's minds. They think they're gonna get there against Spinda every time, and that's not what's gonna happen. I'm personally going to play a Spinda. I will not lose to that childish deck. I'd rather lose to me playing too many items or something. I'm not gonna lose to someone who just went 3 magma base, and then 240 now. Choice band 240. Like,
270 with 2 choice bands attached.
ooh, see, yeah. You thought you were safe. You'd never.
Yeah,
safe.
you can one shot Metagross.
That's crazy, man. But yeah, same reasoning. I'm going to tech for Spinda. I think, or tech for Gyarados, con Spinda.
Yeah.
I think the Azelf promo is bad. Play a Spinda because you get universal utility.
And you get confusion. You get the confusion
Exactly.
too. If you
No, that's won me games.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Confusion, Tails, you lost. Let's go, Dark Pulse. So, yes, I agree with the new cards being released. Make Gyarados hype, and people weren't playing counters, and now we're gonna play counters. So if you're playing Gyarados, don't run into me. Or hopefully I press spin and you just win that game, and I'll skip the next one.
All right. So Ben posted like 11 questions. There's a lot, but I'm only gonna pick a couple that we haven't talked about. Raichu Lycanroc, real deck or not? Alex, you go.
I have not tested it, not played against it. I don't know. It seems a similar of old. There was like way back when, I think it was a Yoshi deck where it was Raichu Ninetales that like hard countered Plasma, Virizion, and all that stuff. And I think it's like the same idea as that, just like different. So I don't know. If you play it, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I don't know if it's good or not.
Okay. I mean, you, Russell.
Eh.
I played against Lycanroc without Raichu, and it wasn't good. So I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. But probably not.
I don't know. It's the one deck we haven't talked about, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know this thing. Okay.
I played with it before. It was I can't tell. I feel like it could be a real deck, but then again, I don't know what it would make me play it over Vespiquen, Gyarados, Garb, Drampa, Passimian.
You were just saying DC decks, I figured.
Trevenant Plume. Like, I don't know. So, like, I'd rather play everything else. And then I would just play Lycanroc by itself because he's a homie.
Yeah.
And Raichu's just another buster.
He is a homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, someone said, another good question he asked, what tech Pokemon would you play in Mega Guardy if you do play it? Serena, have you played Mega Guardy at all? Or do you know?
No.
Alex, you play Guardy?
I don't play pink cards.
I played it in Anaheim.
What would you put in it? He names off like Absol, Rattata, Hawlucha, Oricorio, Sudowoodo, others.
Oh man,
there's so much you can fit right now in the Mega Guardy deck, which makes it.
Oricorio sounds good because getting energy is always like an issue for that deck.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound bad. I don't know. I haven't tested it at all because I kind of wrote it off because I feel like it loses to a lot of things, but I could be just like dead wrong on that. So
It loses the Scizor. Let's go.
it does lose the Scizor.
Climb in the ranks.
Look at that.
So
That's another one.
Mega Guardy is
Another one
not
for the
good.
champ.
It's a Mega Scizor.
No.
Yeah.
Just saying, man. Scissor's not a bad play. All right, throw that out there.
Somebody's gonna watch this video when regionals because we're talking about Mega Scizor.
It's not a good deck. It's just a good play. That's all.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, Russell. Anything you're taking Guardy? You're not know.
Oricorio and Sudowoodo.
Yeah. All right. So Alex, this question's from you. Best one of supporter and Vespiquen.
I did that. I asked that question because I was having an existential crisis at like 4 o'clock in the morning, being like, "Where's my extra spot here?" Like realizing that like I totally had like 3 days left to test, but I was freaking out. So I settled on Hex because like it went like you can do things with Hex.
Okay.
But
Alright.
I'm also scared of like that one guy that's like running Giratina hammers, and that I'm just gonna get rocked. And I'm gonna be like, man, I wish I had a Ranger in here. Or like I'm gonna run to the guy and he's gonna be like, "You're a really cool person, Alex. What's your best one of tech?" And I can't say Mallow, so you know.
Hello.
Super good with
Artillery.
Artillery, unknown, shaman.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Makes sense.
mhm.
Search for any 2 cards.
Let's go with Sandslash.
It's good with Beware.
Do you just think that like teammates might be better? Do they just go into your hand?
Well, the fact is that you can do it without them knocking you out. It's awesome. So like, you could do it turn 1 if you needed to.
Yeah.
Like, grab-
You're right. You're right.
I'm already playing
you mean,
Karen.
you know, who are here said teammates with a whole bunch of question marks? Is that what it was?
What's that?
Is that why you said teammates? Because someone commented teammates question mark?
No, I mean I was just like also legitimately thinking about it.
Oh yeah. No, teammates.
But I get
is-
it. I'm mostly like pulling your leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, every other.
Damn it.
What would you say, Alex?
We're good. I was having a crisis the other night. That's why I posted that. We're good now. I decided not to be bad, and I'm playing a Hex, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, guys, a lot of the questions kind of repeat itself. There's a lot of Gyarados, a lot of Sylveons. I mean, we covered a lot about this.
Boo! Why do people like these whack decks? Like, do you see this Heracross? Do you think he cares about Sylveon and Gyarados and childish decks like that?
You gonna play
Where you
Heracross this
tap-
weekend?
Dude,
Big
No.
Bang Horn.
Is it even
No.
legal still?
no, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Okay, I
Which
thought it
one?
was. I was like, well, I don't think that. You can try, Russell. They'll probably let you if you ask. I ask nice enough.
Serena knows all about Big Bang Horn from Grady Thomas. Didn't Grady beat you with Big Bang Horn when you guys were both like 0-3 at a cities one time?
Jeez. I don't know. Maybe I
Throwback.
blocked that out. Wait, what?
I don't know, because I get a call from Grady being like, dude, I'm 0-3, but I'm going up against Serena. We're both 0-3. I'm playing Big Bang Horn. Let's go. Like, and that was like, I was like, okay, dude, like, good luck.
Oh, God.
The same tournament that he
Yeah.
lost to was Night March, because Night March, back when we played Grass Energies, he used Mew to copy Big Bang Horn to knock out.
Jeez.
It's like the weirdest tournament board I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. But guys, that's all the questions I have here. Russ or Alex or Serena, y'all have anything else to say before we head out here?
I'm excited to see everyone at Seattle. Come talk to us. Or
Serena's
me.
birthday is this weekend, right?
It's Friday. My birthday is
It
Friday.
is Friday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Serena.
birthday.
Got him first. Let's go.
Yeah.
Serena, that means you have to win this
Um,
weekend too, since it's
What's
your
that?
birthday. You have to win this weekend since it's your birthday weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna win.
There you go.
Cool.
I got stuff to say.
Say it, Russell.
All right. Don't sleep on Vika Volt GX. Don't sleep on Metagross. Ninetales is better than everyone's expecting. I think that more Decidueye variants are going to pop up where they just play a forest line plus X card. I think Volcanion might see a pickup and play the more people talk. I'm playing Karen, so I'm not going to lose to people like Alex. I think Vespi Queen is actually a really, really good call, and no one's playing Giratina for solid reasoning because Giratina now sucks. What else we got? Can I plug? Can I plug?
Yeah, I plugged you from the start. You can plug the end too. I don't care.
Okay, no. Someone's PC is partnering with Tapu Keku cards. They are a new card, I guess, stored vendor, and they're going to be at the vendor booth selling cards for TCG player prices. And for us personally and everyone, really, they're doing pre-order pickups. So you can order now and just pick up your cards when you get to Seattle for the same price instead of getting like the boosted ones that all the vendors put it for. And we actually ordered like $700 worth of cards because my team's full of idiots and we're all a bunch of lazy people. So everyone
I need
just
to
said,
buy Tapu Lele's too.
I was like, what do you
good
guys
offer.
need? And they're like, I still need 4 Lycanroc, 3 Drampa, 4 of this, 4 of those. You said Vikavolt's good, right? And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And they're like, all right, give me 4 of those. So, yeah, we're happy to be partnering with them, and they're very, very cool guys, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. At the same time, I think this weekend's gonna be super, super fun, but This weekend and Madison are being very different because of Tapu Koko. It is night and day how I believe Tapu Koko is going to change the format, as well as Tapu Bulu. Because Bulu about it. He hits hard. He's a champion.
And there is a stream this weekend, guys. If you don't know, there is a stream. It's been confirmed. There's a stream this weekend. So,
I will be commentating day 2 if I don't make day 2. So hopefully you don't see me commentating. Since I'm playing.
We're also supposed to have really nice weather this weekend. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm hyped.
I'm stoked. Is it like 70 over there right now, or what's the?
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Good. It's already like 80 or 90 over here right now. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. I think it might get into the 80s this weekend, but like low 80s. So.
I need a break.
Alex,
it's hoodie weather. I'm fine with that.
What about you, Alex? You want to give your shout out to your stuff?
Shout out to Poke Beach. Shout out to all my Spokane homies. We want to get at least 3 people from Spokane to come over to Seattle. More people from Spokane will top than people from Seattle. Calling it now.
Dang.
What up?
Shots.
What up?
We had this like Seattle versus Spokane tournament like two years ago.
That was 2 years ago at Seattle Regionals.
And we got wrecked.
It was so much fun. Like, what did we?
It
was like 3-0 or 4-0. I think we swept it.
I know. I think it was more close than that, but you guys did win.
Yeah. Well, you should have won. Richard luck-socked something. I don't know.
That's okay.
Richard.
I also took out Mewtwo out of my. Okay. Sorry. This is irrelevant. No one knows what we're talking about. You guys should follow me on Twitter. PKMN. REENER PKMN.
PKMN.
That's my plug.
There we go.
Go to someone'spc.com. Go to someone'spc.com.
There you go. Links to everything's down below. If you ask Russell, he might hook you up with that someone's PC. Y'all still doing that discount thing yet, Russell, or is that gone already?
No, we're still doing $8.99 under the promo code SunMoon, and that'll go away soon enough. And yeah, things are going good. We're selling our playmats very, very soon. Everyone keeps bugging me about it, and turns out I have to use priority shipping with the way I'm doing everything. So I had to order
pretty hot
different
playmats.
Yeah, pretty fire.
Good luck.
So. We're selling those in Seattle actually at the booth.
Hey.
Tapu Keko cards. So
I'm down.
There we go. And like I said, guys, links to everything to Russell's, someone's PC, Tapu Keko cards. You got Poke Beach. We'll put Serena's Twitter down there so she gets some love as well. And if you see him this weekend, they're all 3 going to be there. I know last time I did a regionals question answer, they're asking if Sosa going to be in Toronto, and I was like, I wouldn't have him on here unless they're going to be at the regionals. So, yes.
I mean, he didn't really show up in Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like he ain't went, but he ain't go. You know?
his plane his plane didn't go. Whatever Brad.
All right, you guys missed it. Before you leave, since they know about Sosa and like it's actually relevant to the talking and everything. In the final round of Swiss, I was sitting about 2 seats away from Sosa, and he was playing a Pokemon. And the mom was ecstatic, to be playing Sosa, and then she clapped that boy. Like, she was playing Trev, and he just got popped. And she, like, I was barely getting done with game 1, and Sosa was getting up from the table. I looked over, and she was just like, oh, she started apologizing. She was like, oh, I don't know. I'm so happy right now. I beat you. I got so lucky, da-da-da. And Sosa's such a cool dude. He was just like, no, it's totally fine. I get it. You know, he's smiling. I mean, I was like, and I was screaming from my game. I was like, don't apologize to him. Shove it in his face. He sucks. Like, I was like, 6-time champion. No.
Man, poor Sosa. What do you ever do? He's on blast now all of a sudden.
No. It's because when the greats, when they fall, you know, everyone has to drag them down. They have to fall hard. like, all right. If you're always losing, no one's gonna drag you down, right? But if you're always on top, that one time you don't show up, they're like, uh-oh, Mango fell off. You know, it's over. TSM's done for. Like, you know, all kinds of games. Everything's done. Oh, LeBron had that one game, right? Where he just bombed. He bombed the last game.
12
like,
points.
Like, the GOAT? What GOAT? Who's the GOAT? Michael Jordan or die. So you gotta rub it in when they're losing.
There we go.
But obviously they're gonna bounce back because he's a good player and everything.
I mean, yeah. The Cavs in 6 in the finals.
Stop.
Yeah, boy.
Celtics better rally back.
Oh, the Celtics aren't winning another game. Are you kidding me? We got lucky once.
Alex,
no
we
Isaiah
can't be
Thomas.
friends. Alex, we can't be friends anymore.
The Celtics are done. Sorry. Like,
So funny.
Okay, whatever.
If they win one more, I'll be impressed. If they can win one more.
Whatever.
LeBron's not gonna have another flute game like that.
All right. This is not basketball. I'll have to beat a Alex at the end of this if we talk about basketball. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this question and answer. Shout out to Russell, Alex, and Serena for doing this. I really do appreciate it. I know it's like over an hour. The video is really long. If you're still here, let us know down below in the comments that you're still here. Send some love. If you're on Twitch, you're watching Twitch, thank you for Twitch. I think Serena just died. She must have just left.
Sorry, guys.
She got a woo. She's at work. She got a dip.
Yeah, I'm gonna be late to work too.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Shout out to these three guys again. Alrighty, bye.
Peace.
Alright, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our three sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.